Hey, yo, welcome back to the Doug and Beyond. So there's always going to be changes happening to the professional and college level. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. So, and a lot of times it doesn't really matter what us fans have to say about them, which is kind of, I think, stupid to a point because it does kind of affect us to an extent. But obviously it does affect the players a lot more for what's happening out there. But hey, a lot of times it's really good idea that the fans have thought of a while ago, and we're like, hey, why isn't this implemented this long ago? We thought about this, and now we can see it actually happen, and we had a feeling it would be a good idea. But yeah, there's always changes happening, and one big thing is for college, especially with the NIL deals. We do have players basically skipping school or going to the next level from taking more classes in high school, so they can basically graduate and get to college faster. We had that happen with Quinn Ewers. He went to Ohio State, of course, transferred to Texas, and his also teammate Arch Manning, of course, the nephew of a great Eli and Peyton, and also the grandson of Archie Manning, did that and went also to Texas, and also just another one, Cooper Flagg, of course, skipped his senior year of high school also, and went to Duke. But that's just a couple of examples right there. But we have a new one that might be getting voted on, and it's coming up, and we've kind of are like, all right, well, there's already players doing this kind of, but they're thinking about having players having a 5th year option. You kind of already think, well, maybe they are going to grad school and they have that option, but also you can kind of have players go on for an extended amount of years with having eligibility, because some of them redshirt for that year because they didn't play the entire year, they got hurt, and they played just a small percentage of the season, and it didn't even count as their season. So right now we actually do have one of the oldest, I think it was this last year was one of the oldest players ever to play college sports in general, was Luke Larson, 32 years old, just putting that out there. That's older than me, and I've been out of school for a number of years already at this point. Granted, I didn't play any sports in there, but that's kind of besides the point. He's almost 10 years old. He's almost, no, actually, not 10 years older than me. He went to, of course, Eastern Carolina, ECU, as a punter. But the thing is that he came from Australia, and I'm pretty sure if I remember this correctly, because I actually did look him up before this, but there's no saying of when he graduated high school, but I'm pretty sure he started college at like 29. So he was already basically living a life I think he was a professional rugby player in Australia for a number of years, and then was like, I want to go to school and stuff. So he came here, and basically his eligibility, which I think he's right now in his 5th season with the Pirates, so yeah, ECU, and he's a 3-time AAC all-team member, so he's been there for a couple years, so I think he's in one of his last years, but he didn't start that young. He didn't start as 18 years old, as you do in most colleges, or for some people, at 18, but there are some people that are in their 8th year, and it's kind of like, wow, they really just continue that, because if you look at it, they played 2 games, or they didn't play at all. They had surgery, they had injury, they had something else going on, and also now we have the last a few years ago, of course, had COVID. The year shut down. The world shut down for a year and a half, and people use that to their advantage. They use that an extra year as saying, hey, I want an extra year on top of it, and then they got hurt, and they got hurt, and they keep on going and keep on going. So they already also have those years on top of it, which is kind of always just throws you off, like, oh my god, hey, he's still here, like, yeah, like, you have Bo Nix, he looks like he's my age, and he's 25. No, you shouldn't be 25 in college, like, unless, like, I think he had like 7 years or something. But yeah, no, it's definitely can get interesting if they do add this 5th year of eligibility, which would bring them to what, 22, 23 automatically in that situation. So this is one of the ones that you kind of are thinking, like, is this gonna be a good situation? Like, to a point, the player needs to move on. If they're not gonna get drafted out of third year or so, and they're not at a big school like that, and they haven't continued their situation. Their name hasn't been looked at unless it's on a list for the oldest players in the country on a team. You gotta kind of hang it up at that point, bro. Go get a job. Go do that. There's actually a couple days ago, guy in Washington. He bit the bullet. He realized my career is not going to be in sports. Maybe it could be down the way. Train, make some videos of you doing something. Of you doing that again. Play in a league. Go to the UFL if you really want to, or try out for the UFL, more likely, because you do have to make those teams in the first place. But he realized, he got on, had a funny little joke, and he literally had his, if you don't have LinkedIn, you have your logo with your face on it usually, of you looking looking dressed up or something, looking nice. And it has a little banner on the bottom that says "Open for Work," and he showed that on I think it was Twix that he showed it on, and he goes, "I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for my first 9 to 5." And it was kind of funny because, hey, this guy realizes it. He knows he has to move on in life and go and do other stuff out there. But this is one of the different changes that could add to also the NIL deals of how long they actually do have those situations going on for. You can have. Of course, that's why some of the players actually stay. That's why, as I mentioned in my last one with Quinn Ewers, is he going to be going to college? Or is he going to be going to the NFL? Because he might not even be a starter, and right now he's making, if that rumor is true, over $6 million illegally tampering. But he's also already a multimillionaire at this point, because he's been a couple years, and he signed for that $1.2 or $6 million in Ohio State a couple years ago, and has continued to make millions of dollars. So it's kind of like, stay the extra year, maybe boost my profile a little bit more for the next year, and get a good stock jump here and a good signing bonus, or stay another year and make a few million, or go be a backup this year somewhere and don't make 7 figures, maybe high 6 figures, which is still great, don't get me wrong. But yeah, there's a whole lot of situations that could be changing with this, if this rule and kind of law, if you want to call it, gets voted on in everywhere. I have not been able to find of when they will be voting on it. If you guys do know, leave that in the comments below, letting me tell me when this will happen, and it will be very interesting to see. I don't know. I'm not really sure if this is a good or bad thing. This is definitely very much in the middle of, okay, let's see if it happens, and if it does, let's see. Obviously, it doesn't affect anyone out there besides for the player if they want to go and get that 5th year. But yeah, I don't know. There's really no downside or upside to this. It's just move on with your life, or think that maybe you do deserve those years because you got hurt and you think that you can make it. So good luck to all the guys out there to see if they can get that 5th year for them. But yeah, in the end, let's see if it happens. So yeah, subscribe for more. Hit that like button, comment what you think, and I'll see you next one. Peace!